Okay, okay, okay. I am trying to see which that is better. Hmm. Sorry, y'all. I know that some of you all be trying to hike yourself up, and sometimes there's a time and place for all of that. It is needed. But you could tell yourself that you're fine all day long. But I'm going to tell you a secret here. In that, you have a superpower. You have a superpower that you don't even know. And half the time, y'all, you be ignoring it. Do you know what your superpower is? Your nervous system. Like some of you may have heard of the body keeps the score. But in order for the body to keep the score, it's like something really has to be like monitoring or giving it some feedback. And it's your nervous system. And we all, at least I'm saying we all, maybe we don't. We may not know exactly how it works, but we do know about fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. That's your nervous system. We don't pay Typically, we don't pay a whole lot of attention to the digest and rest, but you pay attention to when you have digestive problems, though. If you got that GERD going on, that's that's something to look into. So, your nervous system be listening to you. Your body be listening to you. But are you? Are you listening to it? Because as purpose-driven women, oh my, you will be running around and doing things from other people all day long, but will completely ignore your own needs. And your body be giving you clues. Your nervous system be giving you clues. And so why are you going to do that to yourself? Because you got a calling. You need your energy. You need to be able to think clearly, you know? And so when it comes to that, in that stress doesn't just live in your thoughts, meaning, the things that you're thinking or having, intrusive thoughts, or just your mind just be running, especially as a purpose driven woman, it's almost like, oh, I got so many thoughts, so many things to do, people, places, and things and opportunities. But do you ever sit back and really say, okay, what's going on? Because of the fact, if you are irritable, if you don't have the ability to focus, you know, especially that muscle tension, and you may have a headache. And this is kind of like beyond, let's just say, a regular headache, something that kind of keeps coming up over and over and over again. And especially that restlessness. You just think, oh, I'm busy. I'm doing the Lord's work. I'm supposed to be tired. Not that tired. No, stop doing that to yourself. Do not. Okay, gone are the days that we're not doing that anymore. Because of the fact you are a purpose driven woman and you're determined, you know, to be locked in into your passion, into your calling, but be locked into you as well. Because gone are the days where you are ignoring yourself. And some of you are caregivers or had been a caregiver, and we don't want that for our family. Granted, I always say, things may happen. I'm not talking about that, but at least put in the work, put in the effort of taking care of yourself. And part of that is in slowing down. And so again, stress doesn't just live, it's like, oh, I'm so tired, and the thoughts that you have of being concerned and worry. No, it shows up in so many different ways, and you are ignoring it because your body, especially your nervous system, it will give you clues. You know what I'm saying? Because if anything, kind of use it as a traffic light. Because sometimes your nervous system be like, oh, stop, meaning pay attention. And sometimes it may say, slow down. And then other times it'd be like, oh, okay, we can go here. It's time to go. But you all be misreading those things because you think you're supposed to be on the go all the time. But you got to stop sometimes and you got to slow down, because if you're not stopping and slow down, you are overworking your nervous system. Because if your nervous system is in the fight, flight, freeze, and even fawn for too long, for too much, then you will end up breaking down or in the ground. And when it comes to being in the ground, we're all are going somewhere at some point, but no need of doing that anytime soon. And then not only that, you want to be healthy. Because I know, like for myself, it's kind of like, just let me just fall asleep if that's going to happen. Because I am doing the things that can help benefit me in the long run, and not just in the long run, but for today and for tomorrow, so that I can have the energy, so that I can have the capacity for my calling. And I want the same for you. Uh-oh, my camera on Facebook was just doing its own thing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do what I was gonna do initially anyway. Okay. And so in saying all of that, your nervous system also affects how you show up. Are you showing up in a good mood? Are you showing up energized? Are you showing up with clarity? Because again, if you're not taking care of yourself, because you could do the thing, but if you're doing the thing, with joy, are you doing the thing with excitement? Are you doing the thing? But how are you doing the thing other than getting the thing done? You know what I'm saying? Or showing up at the last moment. And so, again, it can impact your focus, your patience, and even your decision making, because of the fact if you are depleted, if you are drained, or even detached from yourself, that highly impacts your nervous system. It highly impacts your decision making. I can remember when I used to work third shift. When I worked third shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I was working 3 days a week. And yes, it was a good shift. But at the same time, I learned that night shift is not for me. But one thing that I did, and it was a non-negotiable for me, in that I would not schedule anything or, intentionally have certain conversations until at least, a day in between had to be. And that's it, because I think at that time I was working Monday through Wednesday. So, okay, we can talk, or I can go somewhere and make some decisions that Friday or that Saturday. But anytime before that, oh no, not at all. Not at all. Because of the fact you cannot make good decisions when you are drained, depleted, or you're detached from yourself. So stop trying to show up just for the mere fact of showing up, thinking that that makes you a good person. Actually, it's something else, but we're not going to get that. We're not going to discuss that on this call here, because this is about you pouring into yourself And also recognizing that your nervous system sometimes be running the show, but you want your nervous system to run the show for you to have for so that you can have more control. But your nervous system be giving you signals, so you want to pay attention to those signals, just like when it comes to a traffic stop. A traffic stop is there to help guide you. So allow your nervous system to help guide you in your life as well. Because the other thing is that if you do not allow yourself the opportunity to recover, to rest and recover, then you're going to have a really hard time in doing that. And so when it comes to your nervous system, is that there are capacity builders that can help you with that. I kind of call it to get you to the next moment, but you want to have some momentum when it comes to your capacity builders. Some people may say they're coping skills, but if anything that I would say in that, I like to say they're lifestyle skills, because of the fact one thing I've learned by being a therapist is that sometimes some people think of coping skills, you only use them when you need them. That's true too, but there are certain things to do to help sustain you so that you can be vibrant, so that you can show up whole and authentic and not depleted and drained, or at least with your battery half full. Those days are gone, because at least you can get a reboot. You can do that by, you always hear me say, by breathing, intentional breathing. God already gave us the breath to help pretty much in our everyday minute by or second by second breathing. We got that. But intentional breathing, it helps you like no other way. Even just to be able to take that deep breath. And it can help slow you down. And sometimes you may need to be energized as well. Certain type of breathing exercises can help you do that too. The other thing is that, of course, you can meditate. And sometimes I'll be putting meditation and breath work together because of the fact that they are there. And then, of course, when it comes to movement and sitting in silence, and we want you to be able to be present with yourself. And as I've told you, in that, when it comes to that, one of the things is that when my stepdad had a heart attack, in that, like, what did I do? What are the things that I could do in order to be able to do that? And that was to do some, if not all, of these capacity builders, because of the fact, especially when a family member is dealing with something, especially as a heart attack or a stroke or whatever it may be, it will definitely drain you. And so it is up to you to be able to do things that's going to help pretty much feed you and fuel you. And the other thing, and this is really, really big, is that one thing that I've seen as a therapist, most of the time, a lot of times, people don't be doing anything. It's beneficial for you to do. And I like to say, you need to do it. And people are like, oh, don't tell nobody what they need to do. Okay. But what is the cost of you not doing it? That's the thing. the cost of you of not doing it, where you end up having a heart attack, where you end up having some medical condition, where you end up being where you are ending up being depleted and drained. And so, in saying all of that, it is so important that you pay attention to your nervous system. Pay attention to the things that you know that's important for you. So just think about the stop sign. There are times that you need to stop, sometimes you need to slow down and look around, and a lot of times that's where we are, and then you can go. And stop being on the go so much, because it can deplete you, it can drain you. Then you end up breaking down or in the ground, and you're not able to pretty much be here for your calling in any of those situations. So along the way, cultivate your capacity for your calling. And if this at all resonated with you, comment capacity so that you can learn more about cultivating your capacity for your calling. Because if anything, you can't do this by yourself. And you, like me, there are certain areas you need reminders, and being in a community is one of those things that can definitely help you. Yeah, I was live. I forgot I didn't have the thing down, because I'm like, he don't hear me, but I forgot I didn't have that thing down.